Yeah, hi guys. Today I'm going to talk about what you can do to help your children when you are not confident in math. The reason why you might be not confident because you come from overseas and the language is not English and the way they do math, at the basic level is in a different way. And you worry that if you teach them the way that you learn in your own country, the children will not be able to communicate properly here, and the children, may not understand how to compare, what they learn from you and what they learn at school. Now, so the best way really is learn math with your child. Simple like that. Now, so you can get on a package, a website or something like that. And you go through the basic with your child. So you get to know how they teach children in Australia. So you update on, like math yourself. And you also be able to help your kid at school. And the software package that I recommend is called Math Online. Now, Math Online is really good in the sense that it is simple. It is really, really simple. And that is the reason why I use it to help the children to fast track. It's possible for the kid to fast track and get the entire year out of the way in about 3 months. Okay, here is the example. When you log on to Math Online, this is what you see. And if you really want to start right at the beginning, you probably want to go to stage 1 between kindy to year 2. Now it depends on the age of your child, of course. So you just match the age of your child, the grade at school, and the grade here that you see in the software package. Now, be aware that the Australian level is pretty low. So the student in many Asian countries would be running about 1 or 2 years in front. All right. And if you talk about the gifted programs like OC, you have to have your kid running about 2 years ahead of school anyway. All right. So if you come from overseas and you're not confident and your English, it's not really good, going through the process and learn math together with your child can actually help you to improve your English as well. All right, so let's say that we go to year 1 and we'll have a look. Very, very simple stuff. Represent your numbers and go to the first lesson.
In this lesson, we take a look at using the 1 to 100 number chart. So there's our number chart there, the numbers 1 through to 100. Let's start by counting by ones. We're going to count forwards. So starting at 1, 2, 3, 4,
Now,
5,
really,
6,
you look at
7,
it.
8,
There's nothing,
9,
really.
10, 11,
Very,
12.
very simple. So you wouldn't even worry about that. Now, only when you get to the higher years, let's say if you go to year 3, we'll see. Now, representing numbers. Now, place value. Now, that might be the starting point where the way they talk about it is different from the way that you do when you were young in your old country. But I doubt it.
In this lesson, we do some work on place value. Example 1. Let's consider the number 7,325. We're asked to name the digit in the tens place. Well, let's look what all the digits are in. We've got our ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. In this particular question, We're after the digit in the tens place. That is the digit 2. Let's write that down. The next number, 4,961. This time we need to name the digit in the hundreds place. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So we need to go for the hundreds place and go the digit there, and that is the digit 9.
Now, that probably would be exactly the same like what you learned. The only thing is that you may learn a few new vocab, a few new words. That's all what it is. All right, now I think the real difference is when you get to year 5. Okay, now year 5, I think the division is the only thing that would be different. So this go under multiplication. Now the way they organize it sounds a bit funny. You see, instead of saying division, they include the multiplication and the division into the same group. And actually now they group the addition and subtraction into the same group, and they get rid of the word subtraction. Now that is a bit confusing. Actually they are afraid that they will confuse people, so they actually say multiplicative relation division. So it's still under the multiplication, but they give you a separate one. Okay, so how to divide, stuff like that. Short a division. All right, now this is where I think the confusion comes, because most of the parents in Asian country, you would do it in a different way.
In this lesson, we do some work on short division. Examples. The first one, 2 into 470. So the 2 into 4. Okay.
Now, you see, here in Australia or in the English world, you have the dividend on the right hand side. Okay, so you got 470 on the right hand side, and you have the divisor on the left hand side. Now if you happen to come from France, or you are in a colony that were under France, you will see that they do it the other way around. So they will put the dividend on the left hand side and the divisor on the right hand side. You see, so that could be something that you worry, that if you teach your kid in your way, and at school they do it in the opposite way. Okay, now yes, it is a bit of a worry, but the right way to do it is to use a package like this one to show the kid the way it is done in Australia. Yeah, so you stick with that. But you also show the kid the way it is done in your own country. Now, this is actually really good, because most kids will only ever learn the way it is done in Australia. But if your kid know the way it is done in Australia, then also know the way it is done in another country, you know what will happen? Your kid will be so much better, because it will challenge the mind and make your kid think deeper and be able to say that the logic is exactly the same, even though the way you do it may be different. Now, so it will make your kid become a lot better by knowing two different ways the same work can be done. Right? So this is how you should do. It is okay for you to teach the way that you learn in your country, in your time, as long as you use a software package that show how it is done at school in Australia. So, and that will be actually very good for your kid. Now, as the year get higher, the vocab become more of a problem. I'm talking about the words that they use in math. And when it comes to stuff like problem solving, the kid need to be able to understand the whole problem as a story. No, you have the terminology, you have the vocab, for math, and the best way is to use a package like this and quickly take the kid through really rapidly. And in the process, you learn as well. Now, you don't learn the math itself. What you do is you learn the way math is done in Australia, and you learn the vocab. So you will be able to talk and explain what you know using the new vocab, the new words to your kids. So what I'm talking about here is that you learn the language of math, and that make it possible for you to communicate with your kids your knowledge of math, the real math that you know, in a new language. So that's all you need to do. So the learning is not about you learning math. This is about you doing a little bit of revision in math, and about learning the new words so you can communicate and help your child. And trust me, this is really good, because your kid will have the benefit of knowing how the way math is done in Australia, and also the way that people do in a different country. And that will make the understanding a lot deeper, and that will help your child to excel in schools.